Okay.
I think we are live, and I think we are ready to have some fun. Are you going to come on or what? Oh, you always okay. This is not the Mark and Yolanda show. This is the Yolanda introduces Mark to the show.
I gotta introduce you.
Otherwise, he won't come on.
It's just how we do things.
For some reason,
look
he
at,
always
hey,
needs an introduction. I don't know why he needs an introduction, but
no,
he used to next to me. And
it's an entrance. It's how you make the entrance.
Ladies.
No, we got to do the studio.
Okay, you go ahead. You start.
Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Studio 53 here live, brought to you. Conversations with Mark and Yolanda. You can also stream us on any of the social media things. She's coming to you live. She's hot. She's sexy. She knows what she wants in a man. She's got a man. 12-year anniversary. Get up for Miss Yolanda Martinez. Give it up for her.
I don't know why he's doing an intro. Really, we don't need an intro. Anyway,
do one for me. Do one for me now. Do a good one.
Welcome to Studio 53.
No.
We are going to introduce the Tiger King.
That's so cool. That's hot.
Mark Music.
You gotta let him know we're in Mexico.
We're in Mexico. Okay, apparently we are in Mexico.
Do it in Spanish.
Welcome. Bienvenidos al show de conversaciones con Mark y Yolanda.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Amigos, ¿cómo estás? ¿Bien? Un momento, mi esposa. We're in Mexico.
We are in our house.
We're in. I don't know that.
I don't know.
We're in Mexico.
I don't know why we're wearing my Halloween costumes. These are for a Halloween costume. I was a mariachi singer one year. And that was my costume. So I wore that hat. Anyway,
I'll show you in Mexico. I'll prove it to you. Prove it to you. They're homemade Mexican chips.
Organic. Organic tortilla.
Organic.
And it says purple. So
no, ignore the package of Kirkland. The gentleman's name is Kirkland that made these chips. He's from South America.
Why are you yelling?
Because we're in Mexico and it's hard for me to hear.
You don't need to yell. I mean, I can hear you. I mean, and they can hear you. You don't need to yell. Just chat. Talk normal.
What do I do with my chips?
Just talk normal. You don't need chips. You don't need chips. We're not eating chips right now. We are actually going to introduce someone very entertaining that we love to watch. I love to watch.
He is totally nuts. He is like rice around the corner.
Rice around the corner. Okay, I think the nut is over here going crazy. Get over here. Leave the food alone. Leave the food alone. We don't need food now.
Do they still think we're in Mexico?
Apparently, if you're over there shopping.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Anyway, go ahead and introduce our friend that's going to be our guest today.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to Studio 53 here in Mexico. We've got two locations now, one in Las Vegas, and we had duplicated the same look in Mexico.
Okay.
We bought a place.
I was going to say, they're going to know we're at home because we're in the same background.
No, we duplicated it. It takes, you know how long it took us to duplicate this? Don't turn it that way.
No. Yes, turn it that way because you have to.
Here's the other thing.
Move over.
You know what part of Mexico we're in? Chacabuco. No, that's not Mexico.
That's in Chile. That's South America. You're like in the wrong place.
We're in Cabo San Lucas right now, ladies and gentlemen. We have a place in Cabo San Lucas. Please, vámonos, come down here, and the amigos will be partying. We'll rent tequila for you.
Don't listen to him.
Why?
We are in Las Vegas. We are at home.
We're world travelers.
We haven't traveled anywhere in like 2 months. So let's introduce our guest.
Before we go any further,
I know that I love
Happy anniversary.
Oh.
12 years today.
Happy anniversary,
Me and
honey.
me is supposed to 12 years.
That's right.
I
12
thought I was
years
getting
today.
flowers. She said, "What is that?" I said, "I think you sent me flowers." She goes, "No, that's a mat. I color on it." Okay.
He did get me flowers.
Yeah,
for
I
today,
got her. I got
happy
her
anniversary, honey.
12 dozen roses for 12 years together.
You got a dozen roses for 12
I got.
years
Oh yeah,
together.
but each rose has 12 petals on it, so it's like 12 dozen roses.
Okay, well, good job.
Man, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right,
I'm excited. I'm excited,
I
actually.
got lipstick on me.
It's all right.
I
It
got a
looks good
little
on you.
lipstick on my teeth.
I'm actually excited.
I'm gonna tell you, we have worked with a lot of entertainers all over the world. Some of the top-notch entertainers. You had an opportunity to meet Wes and Shelley, Twice as Nice, our friend Elvis, and we've been trying to get Kevin Johnson for a long time. He's always on tour, and we happen to catch him. Like, dude, will you do us a huge favor? We have a small audience. We'll have about 3 people watching the whole time. That's about it. We don't really get to a lot of people. Not a lot of people really like us. And this will help really promote your career. You could get up to 5 people watching if we have the right, really good anchor here. Kevin Johnson, if you have never, you've seen on America's Got Talent, the ventriloquist, Kevin should have been on there. He would have won it hands down. That's who he is. He is by one fun comedian, ventriloquist, good-looking man. He is the one of a close friend of ours that we don't get to spend a lot of time with, only because we travel so much. And we asked him, "Hey, he's no idiot, but he does have some dummies he wants to share with you." The guy is freaking funny. You talk about comedian. This guy's got it down like you have never seen before. And we wanted to bring him on here as a special guest. I remember just a few minutes ago, because I have a great memory, so I can remember just a few minutes ago.
No, the other way, honey.
Sim, our friend Simeon, he's like, "Oh my God, I can't wait. When's the ventriloquist guy come on?" I go, "What about the hypnotist?" He goes, No, the ventriloquist. I like the ventriloquist. Oh, I get it. So for all of our listeners out there, wow, we got 3 people on. We broke the record. Holy cow! I thought about this for the last since we questions about asking. It's like where am I going to get these questions? I want to ask them certain questions, and sometimes things just happen for you. You know what? Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Australia. There'll be a delay in the voice. You'll see his lips move and things. Don't worry about that. From Australia, give it up for Mr. Kevin Johnson. Yes, we get it.
What? Australia? Are you kidding me? I'm in New Zealand, man. Come on, what's happening? Read my mouth. New Zealand. Oh, man. I want to be in Mexico with you guys, though. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Telling you.
Well,
He never liked
we'll
being in
make sure we
Mexico.
invite you when we go to Mexico.
You're out here in the U.S. Back on.
So I don't know how your internet is, but mine seems every once in a while it kind of freezes up a little bit, so I get like half of your sentence. So I don't know if it's on my end or your end, but
I don't either. Okay.
I've
After
got
the question again.
We were and sometimes do have problems with stream. I did that yesterday as well.
okay.
So I think it's not the internet, it's stream itself. We were on with Robert Allen, the real estate guy, several others. And as I was speaking, I had a 20-minute speaking slot. Bill would come on and goes, "I could only hear part of what you're saying." I said, "Well, then I get to go twice as long, don't I?" So, yeah, there's so many people, Kevin, doing internet webinars, Zoom calls, that I think it clogs the system like a drain with a bunch of hair in it.
I can
You gotta
see
get
that.
it out.
It makes good sense. They need extreme bandwidth to house all these live shows that are happening all the time, and most likely simultaneously. So if I get delayed, it may or may not be part of my act.
Okay. It'll be more entertaining.
But it's so good to see you, and it's been a while. We
I
used to
know.
cross paths sometimes at sea, sometimes in Las Vegas. If there's a convention going on or something happening there, it's always a pleasure to see you folks. And you guys are healthy and doing well. You all right?
Yeah,
Well,
we're
you
doing
know we
good.
are. Heck yeah. What we're doing is we're just staying in love. If we can't make money, we might as well stay in love. At least we got something to look forward to every morning when we wake up.
And happy anniversary, man. That's
Well, yes.
fantastic.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
It's good. As a matter of fact, that I didn't know that. I brought a friend of mine that she's so excited. Hey! It's a camera.
Is that it?
It's on.
Hi,
No, it's. She's new to this whole social media thing. Stop.
Internet thing.
She doesn't know if it's real.
Mom. Or Memorex? Is it? In my life?
It's live.
Hi, family.
That's Mark and Yolanda.
I know who they are. We met in Chile long time ago.
Yeah, we did.
Es Matilda.
Oh, she's been working on her Spanish.
Una más margarita, por favor.
No, easy. She watches Dora the Explorer.
How about Yolanda? She needs her own show. Yolanda.
I shouldn't have brought her out.
Are you talking to me? Here, I can hear you.
Okay. As she said to him, you don't need to yell. You're right here. Sorry, okay, she's very excitable. Anyhow, this is Matilda, for those who don't know who this is, but it's been a while.
It's been a long time. Been a long time. Been a long time. Been a long time.
She loves to sing.
That I do. 'Cause I'm like a bird.
And what's weird is you don't know how to
We're gonna let
sing.
them talk. I apologize. Go ahead.
Do you know how to sing, Kevin? I didn't notice that. Now I know.
Oh yeah. I don't like to sing, but she does.
That's my job.
Well, that's true. So, it's a little strange to wrap your brain around. I was trying to figure out how to hyphenate ventriloquism and hypnotherapy because it'd be like a ventrilo hypnotist. I'm not sure.
Ventriloquist.
Does that mean I sleep and I can still talk? I will count to 5 and you will wake up. I don't know. I don't get it.
Relax. Nonetheless, okay. Sorry. Can you sit down for a minute?
I am sitting down.
I meant off camera.
Oh, am I taking too much of the limelight? I'm the queen. This is what I do.
Okay.
That's right.
Sorry. Okay, just out of the frame for a second. She is easily distractible. So okay, sorry about that. Anyway, where were we?
Where were we?
Mexico.
We were in Mexico.
That's right. And then in Australia. Good
I know.
night.
He was gonna. What were you saying? He said, "We're in Mexico. We're in Chacabuco." I'm like, "That's in Chile. That's not in Mexico." That's actually where we got to hang out
Yes.
in Chacabuco.
I failed history. Okay.
Yeah, apparently you did.
But geography,
Badly.
you got that down pat. You're doing all right. But you guys stayed on the ship, went all the way around to Argentina, whereas I left in. It's difficult to say the name of that port. I try not to say it, but it's Punta
Arena.
Thank you. You can say it so much better than I can.
Yes, you did.
Sounds
That's
like
right. Well, we
somebody
were
in
on
your
there for 6 months. You were only on there for a cruise.
And that's the last cruise we took was 3 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Wow.
Isn't that something?
My last one was March 16th of this year.
Wow.
When it all ended.
Yeah.
Or did it all begin?
Oh, and maybe it did. Maybe I'll have to learn multiple jobs now. So I'll have to do a ventriloquist hypnotist show. So I'll put myself to sleep and the birds will talk.
So do you have to do social distancing with your puppets now?
I used to. The 6 feet apart thing is getting a little rough because we were trying to hold on. This thing, I had to take his mask off, but hold on.
My God, you're hilarious. Oh, there's my favorite.
Oh, well, look at here. This is how it all starts, isn't it? Social distancing. I got your social distancing right here. No, we're being nice, all right? I don't have to do anything. I'm at home. You're lucky I got pants on. We don't want to see. Hold me higher. No, I want to show him. He's wearing pants. Yeah, yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Oh, you put them on today?
I'm so excited.
Are you related to this one who doesn't wear pants?
I never wear pants. This is the first time that I've worn pants in our live event, other than our cooking show, because they don't want me to be without pants during cooking for some reason. I don't know.
I'll tell you what it is. The lady to your left there, she wears the pants. That's why you just got your own set.
She definitely gets in my pants when she needs to. We have saved so much money on dry cleaning.
I heard that. I'm listening. I'm trying to process that one. Don't process it. All right, I'll let that one go. Carry on. Go ahead. I'd like to do the cooking show. String beans. That's my thing.
String beans?
String beans. Yeah, I'm skinny. I lost a lot of weight in this COVID thing.
Did you? Well,
Yeah,
I know Kevin, you lost some. Your buddy there lost some weight, didn't he? Look at that.
He did. Look at it. He finally figured out how to get a job. Yeah, he calls his work sticking your hand where it doesn't belong. It's not work. That's how you gain all the weight. You eat the buffet and you get your hand out of that stuff. Nonetheless, we've been a little more active. I've enjoyed the time home with the kids, though. Yeah, you have. They don't shut up. They just hear.
I'm hungry. What's my bottom?
They're all old enough to wipe their. That's the 21-year-old that says that.
Not true. It's not true.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
The kids are great. They're just keeping us busy, that's for sure. So I've been going outside quite a bit.
To the edge of the street. That's all we're allowed to do. I'm on one of those long yo-yos. It takes me out, and then I got to come back. Got to go out, got to come back. They don't have them nasty big enough for my mouth.
And I wish you'd keep him quiet.
Yeah, I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Social distance.
I'm kind of curious. I was thinking of all these questions, and I thought, I wonder if I could ask some questions. It took me a while to come up with them. Have you ever had doing things, I guess, because we do a lot of stream art. My main question is, have you ever had a computer like implode on you in the morning right before you're doing anything?
Well, what time is it, Mark? What time is it?
That just happened.
Yeah, I was.
That just happened?
Well, I was getting my laptop ready, which has my Zoom and all the social media stuff on it. I had it all ready to go, tested it with a green screen. And then this morning, my hard drive says, you have errors.
No, you had errors. The thing was mine.
So I thought, you know what? I've got time. I build computers at home. I'll just take the back off of it real quick and throw a new hard drive in. No big deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It's in pieces now. Looks like some elephant just stepped on it and said, here you go. Fire that up and see how that's going to work for you.
So we're on an iPad right now.
Yeah, it's about the size of the pack of cards. I'm having a hard time seeing the camera. Would you move back? I can't see this stuff. I get in the dadgum thing.
So we're trying to group around this tiny little camera. It's
not social distancing at all. I can even smell you from here. Would you stop?
Good grief.
Stop. You smell bad. You take a shower?
So yeah, we do have computer issues, but fortunately, I'll have to take care of fixing it after we get off the call here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take a nap. Number 6 for today. Sleep.
I was thinking all these questions to come up with, and it's like, I was like, here's one, here's two, here's three. Like, boom, number 4. And I got to go to number like 4.
So you've got some questions. I'm so impressed that you've come up with some ideas.
I know.
Well, hey, when did we meet? We met on 5-6 years ago on the cruise ship.
On the Norwegian Sun. Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait. Hey, before you say something, hold on a second. I got something right here. I got to show you a little dummy, the newest one.
Oh, wow, they make
like
them
one of those
so
live
real.
puppets, right? You touch right here and open his mouth.
Hey, kids, how you doing?
Oh, she doesn't open her mouth at all. She's one of those that runs around all day going,
Hey, Dad, let's go outside and play. Let's go outside and play.
This is Chloe. Sorry. So we're trying to keep
Oh,
quiet
I
for the interview.
read
Bye-bye
too.
now.
It's amazing
Okay,
how
sorry.
life.
So,
Her life.
Now,
can make them-
did you make that one yourself?
yes, actually, it took about 9 months to build this one. It has
Wow.
no strings attached, though.
Does your wife know? Was she involved in it, or was it like
She was
something
in charge of integrated motherboard. So she's digital. I, on the other hand, of what's the alternative of digital analog? That's analog. It doesn't matter. It's all right. See, I used to talk about they have digital dummies now. Where you could on the iPad. I don't need to bring these. Who needs suitcases when you can put everything on the iPad, right? Because traveling is tough. Well, as a hypnotist, you have so many cases. You have to bring all your clothes in. I have these props. Well, I call them props. They don't like that.
I heard that.
Well, friends, props, whatever you like. Tools.
I know who the tool is right now.
Anyway, I apologize. So, yeah, it's quite some time ago we met in Chile. We had
Yeah.
You introduced me to some new beverages in Chile. That was really nice.
Oh yeah, we had the beer. We had the local beer at the hotel. Yes,
I'm gonna open up one of those curtains. so
at
we
that
get some light.
hotel that was up in the hill. Well, the only
Yes.
hotel in Chacabuco, because you get
Right.
off the cruise ship and that's the only place you can go is to the hotel on top of the hill to get internet.
Right,
that's it.
right. It was a journey to get the internet. But I thought they had something like a mezcal or something that was unique to Chile. I don't remember what it was that it was.
We walked on the beach and saw this ship.
Yes, that was like an old rusted thing that was like
In the
sunk
water. So we didn't get to go on that. We did go into the bar. Did we drink something there? I don't remember.
I thought I'm always experimenting wherever I go. I just want to find out, taste the culture, if you will.
How the heck did you get to even start working on ships? I mean, I know how we did through a friend of mine who introduced me to an agent who, that's how we got on. And then
Right.
we got to meet you on there, and life has never been the same.
I tell you, I've had friends in the business say, "How do you do it? How do you get started? Where do you start?" And
Yeah.
that's a great question because, as a matter of fact, I started out doing television, which is America's Got Talent, and then David Letterman. But after we did the America's Got Talent, which was 2006,
You did America's Got
time ago.
Talent?
Oh wow!
It was a long time ago. After we
Love
did
that show.
then the cruise lines started calling, and I set up an agent, set up a manager at the time. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I was working at Legoland at the time, and I was there for 9 years, did almost 9,000 shows, and I was like, ooh, this is an opportunity to get out and see the world and travel. And so I jumped at the opportunity, and that was 13 years ago this June. And man, it's sad because it's seeing where it's at right now. I'm like, I just want to get back to it. But it was so lucky and so fortunate that they came to me, and that doesn't happen very often. I was like, okay, I'll try it. But it's weird because that they ask for a lot of time. Here I was at
Yes.
Legoland doing 25-minute shows. I'm like, oh, sure, I can do shows. And they're like, we need like 75 minutes of unique material. I'm like, 75 who? What? I can do this show like multiple times in a row. I could do it in Spanish for portions of it. And I'm like, I got to come up with some material. So when I first got into ships, I was scrambling. I brought gag books on the cruise with me, and I'm reading joke books. And so I'm learning how to write, and I've taken classes on how to write. I have workshops from people like Jerry Corley, who used to be a writer for Jay Leno. And so I took workshops for these people, learning how to write material. I'm like, I need more material. I need material. I need characters. Harley actually wasn't even with me at the time. He joined me when I first started doing ships because I noticed my audience on Princess and Holland America, they were predominantly older folks. So I thought maybe I should get an old folks guy. Hey, I heard that. You realize,
I heard that.
they don't get too far away from me, do they? It's social distancing. Then keep your 6 feet. And so you started it. It's very funny. So anyway, that's kind of how it all got started, was doing the one ship. First one was Liberty of the Seas. You never forget your very first ship. And that ship was only 3 months old. So it was just gorgeous. It was a big ship. And then I started working Disney Cruise Lines and spread it out, Holland America. It took us a while to find out exactly who our audience was. So we found out that family audience is really where I strive. So
Yeah.
Disney worked well, and Royal Caribbean really worked well. Holland America, they're like, we don't get to kid jokes. You don't get kids. You can't say, get off my lawn on the ship. Get off my patio. Balcony, whatever the case may be. I know I'm talking for you. He's looking at me cross-eyed like, don't use my voice without my hand. Anyway, so that's weird. It's good. But you've been doing ships for 25 years you were doing them?
No,
we did what? How many? Maybe 5-6 ships a year or a week at a time. The longest one we did was in South America because Yolanda speaks Spanish, so our shows were interpreted in Spanish.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that was it. And after that, we just we wanted to be home for a little bit, and then we got used to being home. We wanted to be home for a lot more, and then we got used to being home a lot more. Then we want to be home for a long time, and so that's how we kind of. Not that I wouldn't do ships again. I know it's a little different out there now, especially since this. I mean, you think about how COVID affected the ship industry and your living. I mean, how do you plan on feeding your family now?
Well, that's a great question. I wish I'd have thought of that one. Well, I keep smacking this.
Yeah, family.
Ship set up for doing video right here in the room. So I'm about to knock everything over. I've got a drill holding up the iPad. This is a real gorilla setup right here. Gorilla setup. I need one of those characters. No, I was trying to think, can I get a job? And I'll tell you, when you worked in the entertainment business as long as we have, you kind of get used to a certain income and making ends meet. So you got your budget and so on and so forth. Now, sure, we can make adjustments. We all have to make adjustments. But I couldn't find any work locally or within an hour drive that I could do that would even come close. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be tough. So I'm thinking, how are we going to do this? Well, can we do anything online? And I'm thinking people aren't going to want to sit there and watch ventriloquism over this type of thing because
I think they will. There's DJs doing online. There's magicians. I think TikTok would be perfect for you, Kevin. Oh, I could see this happen.
My kids are on TikTok.
You need to be on TikTok.
All right, I'm gonna set up a TikTok after we're done here. You're gonna be upset when it happens because you're.
We'll even send you someone that can help you monetize your TikTok.
Yeah,
I'll send you the info. Yeah,
now we're talking.
Very nice.
We're acting like agents now, aren't we? You got to.
So we'll kick you 10%. Just shoot me that email. We'll get it right there at PayPal. Set it up. Zoom. Boom. There it is. But
have you ever had a really embarrassing time, like on stage? Like I'd be like, "Oh my God, this did not happen to me." These are hard questions. I didn't think of these. It's not like
I have a few of them, but one in particular is probably most embarrassing because it was. Let's see. I have to carry the one. How many years ago was this? Right around 1994.
Oh my God! How long have you been doing this?
I started in 1979.
How old are you?
Did I just hear you? The internet was breaking up. Did you just say how old I am? What?
Yeah. You like 25 or?
Oh, that's a good one. Next week, would you believe this? Next week, I will be 50. The big 50.
Wow.
No way.
I'm so excited. I did. Yeah.
Wait.
In the gray and my sideburns, I had to cut it out.
You wait till you get that letter in the mail that says AARP. You take that thing with 15% off of Denny's. Bam.
Oh, yeah. He was excited about the AARP thing.
I already did that.
AARP members.
Yeah. Not by choice.
Yeah, you had to be.
No, you did it for me. I didn't decide to do it. No.
You're going to love that 15% off of Denny's.
What was your most embarrassing moment?
Okay, so what it was, I was working at the San Diego Zoo, and we were doing zoo nights. So they actually opened the doors after dark, which was great because that's when the animals really are awake. So they would do night zoo during the summer. So I would stroll around with Matilda, and we would do some strolling, and then we'd gather a crowd, and I would do a small little 10, 15-minute show at the bird aviary. Well, I was standing out with... I'll put her on just to help tell the story because she was there.
I didn't like it.
Now, just to give you the premise, and I'll talk about the tutorials here shortly, but when you learn ventriloquism...
Are you distracted, Mark? Look me in the eye. You're getting sleepy.
No, he doesn't fall. Anyway, okay. So we were walking around, and there was a lady who was standing out by the strollers, and I just thought it'd be funny to say, "Oh, so you're valet parking the strollers, are you?" Just trying to be friendly. She was the only person out there, but she was out. I don't know if she was on her phone or just finished up a cigarette. I don't know what, but so I was gonna go, "Oh, so you're valet parking?" She goes, "Yeah, it's taking care of all the strollers." And I wanted her to say, "Oh, good. How are the tips?" Now in ventriloquism, when you say a P, you have to substitute it for a T, but you have to soften it. So you do it really quick. So you're already seeing where this is going. So
Oh, yeah.
she was going to say,
How are the tips?
and it didn't come out as tips as clearly as it should have. And so she said,
How are the tits?
you know, I'm like, I gotta go. I'm really sorry about that. Enjoy your time. We're going to do a show. We're not doing the show. Okay.
Oh my
Her
God.
face just didn't move. She just looked at me like, he just said, what did he just say? Because I heard the bird say something to me. I'm like, wasn't me. I didn't say it. She did. We'll go. Fire her. HR. Fire her. She's out.
I got fired. Fired.
I was extremely embarrassed. I wanted to quit that day and go, I can't do this anymore. So I really had to learn to articulate and form words better if you're going to do this. Because it's the same thing when you're on we can't say we're on a cruise boat. It's a cruise ship. So you have to be very careful.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with that one.
Yeah, we don't say that anymore. Not on Disney.
What's that?
To say cruise ship, because you have to substitute the P. And
Yes.
sometimes the ship doesn't come out as clear.
But after enough nachos, it comes out all right.
Oh, no,
I love the Mexico thing. I'm learning Spanish. Sí, muy bien.
Muy bien.
Feliz Navidad.
we're not. No, it's almost June.
Feliz Navidad.
Are you done?
Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad.
Okay, she's wasting your time now. Can we stop? So that was embarrassing, but there's been a few moments like that. Most of it's with articulation, trying to make sure it's okay. But you know what I didn't tell
How'd you get into it? What got you like really excited about being a ventriloquist?
I'm glad you asked that, because that brings me to the next thought. A point
That was my number 4th question, which I didn't write down.
Brilliant thinking you have right there. Okay, so I did a tour a few years ago.
Brilliant thing you come up with these.
Yeah. This organization was called Live on Stage. And so we were doing a tour throughout Pacific Northwest. And our last stop in the area was Northern California. We were in Redding, California. I used to live up there and worked up there a long time ago. So we were doing this theater, and it was great because we were doing a daytime theater for all the schools. So they bussed in all the schools to this one theater, and it seated 999 kids. Because if they had 1,000, their insurance would have gone up. You know how that works.
Yeah.
So 999 kids and, you know, teachers, sporadic, whatever. And part of my show, I bring up a kid and I make them into a puppet. I don't put a mask on them. Of course, after COVID, we'll probably have to put more than just a mask. I'll be in one of them hazmat suits. Like, I'm going to make you talk. Don't mind me. This is not obnoxious at all. The marshmallow puff guy. Anyway, so, Pillsbury Doughboy. That's my favorite sound. So I apologize. Easily squirrel distraction. So I've got all these kids, and it's always a challenge to find out which kid I want to use on stage, because I want to make it special. But with you have 999, how do you pick that one kid? You hope you get lucky. You try to find the one that's not going me, because that's going to derail your show. And you don't want the real timid one, because you want them to be involved. All right, so we've done the setup. So I bring the kid up. I'm making him talk. He's kind of timid, but he's having a good time. He's doing all right. And everybody's laughing and applauding him. And he's like starting to brighten up, and he's like a flower, like he's opening up. And I'm like, ooh, he's digging this. So I stopped and I said, ladies and gentlemen, please give your friend a big round of applause, because he's the star of the show. And the kids went nuts for him. And I heard him. Now, the kids didn't hear it, but he leaned over to me and said, finally, I'm somebody. And I was fighting the tears so hard. I'm like, oh my gosh. This child's life will never be the same because of this opportunity and all of his friends. I was like, as soon as the show was over, I just went back to my dressing room and started crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is why I do this. It's that moment to take a kid's life and make them famous and powerful and love themselves. And I'm like, oh, maybe that's why I have so many children. No.
So you have like 17 kids, don't you?
Well, yeah, we finally had to open our own daycare for ourselves. But my wife is loving this now that I'm home and off the ship. She goes, "Oh yeah, why don't you take care of this? You can take this. I don't know how she does it, because I come back and I'm like, so you're gonna do that and that and that and fix lunches and dinner and do the laundry and do all this? How do you do this? I just want to put these on." So it's pretty amazing. Hey, Coop, you wanna get on here? Yeah, you wanna see what's happening? Yeah.
That's an amazing story for that kid.
Yeah.
So you're talking about
And
transformation.
he was about his age. I'm gonna pick him up here so you can see which one we got here. This is
Well,
my
there you
little-
go. Look at that.
he's gonna be 9 next Wednesday. And why is that important? Because I was 9. This is Cooper, by the way. Cooper,
Hey,
Hi,
Cooper.
Cooper.
he's kind of shy. He's not really the loud and quiet one. Oh, I mean, he's the loud, not the quiet one. Wait, he's the quiet, not the loud one. You understand? He's a little bit of. He's all right. Anyway, it was 9 years old when I first started doing ventriloquism. I'm like, this is your big year, man. 9 years old. You can do anything. You can be anyone you want. And Cora's making her move through the house, too. Do you want to say hi? She's not. You want to say hi? The world is right here watching. She's all these children are slowly making their way through. They're like, shh, don't say anything. This is Cora. She's my superstar. She's my trifecta.
Hi.
She'll be. She just turned 12 this year. She's almost a teenager. That's scary. Can't afford that. Anyway, so she's my singer. She's actress, singer, dancer. So we're trying to carry on. None of them want to do ventriloquism. I don't know why. It's creepy. It's very creepy. Isn't it creepy?
Sure.
Yeah, all the love. Go ahead. Go away. Thanks for playing. They're lovely. And our second oldest, who just graduated high school this year, boy, that is something else, isn't it? They're doing a virtual walk where they set them up and walk them across their social distancing. You know, you go on that football field, we'll go over here on this one and just shout at me. Oh, congratulations. I'm like, man, these kids will never forget this. It's crazy, the stuff we had to do for this.
Yeah.
So let's.
Yeah, we have a friend that graduated Stanford, and they had to do the same thing. Imagine going through 4 years of Stanford, and the big night is
Canceled.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Stifled. Oh, you can watch your video on YouTube. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that was only a $120,000 video. Thanks for that. Oh, good grief. Well,
so. I mean, in all seriousness, how did you get so good? You are so good.
Yes.
well,
you
you're
are.
very kind. Wow.
It's more than a talent. It's an art. It's some people are born with gifts. It's like you were born with this gift to do this. You know, how did you get to where you match? I've seen other ventriloquists.
Yeah.
They're okay. There's a difference between the top of the top. They call the 1%ers, and you're one of the 1%ers.
Oh,
how do you
man.
get to be
Wow,
like?
you're very kind, man. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Because I watch videos, and I just started this new Patreon page. So I'm putting up archived videos of like when I was at Legoland and Welk Resorts in Southern California. And I look at the show and I'm like, who hired that guy? That show is awful. I keep thinking the show constantly evolves. I hope to get better and better. But you know what it is? My grandfather was a magician growing up. He was one that kind of got me into the business. And he was a perfectionist. So he would do... he was a sheet metal engineer for Rockwell International, so he was constantly attention to detail. And he encouraged me. He says, if you're going to do this, you do it right, and you do it to the best of your ability. And I'm like, okay. So I was never really like in the know with ventriloquists or the entertainment business. I didn't know who anybody was. I just kind of I'd like to say a closet ventriloquist. I finally came out of the trunk. but no. I just was, I wanted to do it, but he says, if you're going to do it, you do it right, and you do it to the best of your ability. So I really worked on it to make sure there was no movement, no throat movement. A lot of ventriloquists will cover their neck a little bit with something, where it ties so you can't see the throat. I want it wide open so you can see.
I don't see it. I don't see. Come on now. Work with me.
But it took a lot of work and a lot of time and dedication, but I practiced and practiced. But Legoland, you have to figure almost 9,000 shows.
Oh
You
my
either get really good or you burn out and give up. So
Yeah.
I hope that I took the get better.
Oh,
But,
you did.
With
Yeah.
this Patreon, I'm posting videos up, and some of the folks that have joined on Patreon I knew them from Legoland years ago. And they're like, show us some of that footage. And you want to talk about losing weight? That was a skinny kid, that guy. My wife was like, look at those videos. She goes, who is that? Where did you get that video? Because I want that.
Oh my God. I just got a text message from one of our team members, Ziggy, who's like, "Oh my God, love Kevin Johnson, so much heart and talent." And I was like, "Yeah, he is. He's a nut. We should have him at our event." You know,
Yeah,
can you
definitely.
imagine having you and Twice as Nice at our event?
That would be
Oh,
fun.
Maybe
wow.
we could set it up. Our next 3-day event, Total Transformation. Would you come down and not just entertain, but show and tell people exactly how the business works, because it is a business, you know?
Absolutely.
That would
Absolutely.
be so cool.
Yeah.
We'd probably get you pretty cheap now that you're out of work, right?
Absolutely.
Wait, where's his agent? Do we get 10% back of what we pay you?
Yes, exactly. So that'd be perfect. That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, I understand that you have some tigers in the back, and Matilda loves tigers because she's best friends with Carol
We'll get you
Baskin.
some tigers in the background.
We do have a lot of friends with tigers. That is true, yes. So whenever we go to Tennessee, we get to hang out and do things that most people can't do when they
Mhm.
close the doors, you know. So
Absolutely.
have you ever messed with somebody? Like, have you ever gotten someone just like, you know, I'm just going to mess with this person just to mess with them?
Oh,
I'm
yes.
sure he has.
Oh, yes. Now, some people, if they've seen the show, they know this thing called Godzilla Theater is what I call it. But I happen to be in a McDonald's, and I don't want to make the story too long, but
I'll make it long. You
it's
got
one of my favorites.
Yeah, you got to tell the story.
You know, as much traveling as you do, that there's a big difference between East Coast United States and West Coast United States.
Yes.
Not a good thing, not a bad thing. They're both just different.
Yep.
So you go into, for example, if you go into California and McDonald's, they're like, "Hi, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you?" You know, nice, very happy. And
Yeah.
you go to New York, they're like, "Welcome to McDonald's. What can I get you?" It's just a little different personality, a little different attitude. Same thing. You're still going to get your food. So I was in New York, and I thought I'd have some fun with this kid because he's like, "Welcome to McDonald's. What can I get you?" And I'm like, "I'd like a Big Mac, a small fry, a large Diet Coke, and that's to go. Can you help me out with that?" And he looked at me for a second. He goes, "What you want?" I said, "I'll say it again. I would like a Big Mac, small fry, a large Diet Coke, and that's to go. Can you help me out with that?" Maybe I should get in the car, go to the drive-thru. Help me help you. He's like, "I don't know what you want, man." So I tell people, you got to try it. You got to try it at McDonald's. But whatever you do, don't eat it afterwards. They're going to ruin it. So that's my favorite thing to do, is to do that. But if I'm going through a crowd and I'm trying to get through people, with social distancing doesn't really become an issue anymore. But when we get back to crowded people, I walk through and just sound my horn. And people look around and move. They'll move right out of your way when you do that. They think you got a bicycle. Which I love messing with people. That's my favorite sound. Except for my closest friends. They hate that
Oh my God,
sound.
you and Mark together. Oh,
We John Argus saw you at Legoland, and he goes, "Oh my God, you know, it's awesome to know that you
one of
guys
our
know
fans
Kevin,
from
you know?
San Diego saw
Yeah.
you at
Hey!
Legoland.
It's a small world,
See?
man. It's a
Small world.
And
See?
had I not gotten that one cruise in Chile, which I've never been back since, by the way, we would have never met. And I'm
We've
so glad
never
we
been
did.
back to Chile either. So
So now I just make chili and reminisce.
that's right.
It's just not the same. So you're able to see
Oh, yeah.
Facebook at the same time, where I just have this screen here that says go to laughalot.com to learn more about Kevin Johnson.
Yeah.
That's super
Why not?
nice of you that you did that. That's
Yeah.
super cool.
Definitely. We got to promote you. Why
Hey,
not?
10% is 10%. Big guy.
Absolutely. You know what? It's a big deal. We're going to get into merch right now. We're going to start selling pictures. Ready to go? Freeze frame. Okay, we're going to do it with a tiger too. I'm just kidding.
Now, do you ever mess with your kids?
A little bit, but they get tired of it. Early on, with the oldest, who's now 21 and moved out, we used to use a little monkey puppet called Bobo, which I don't even know where it is anymore. I don't know if it made the many years, 21 years ago, but we used to use him for disciplinary action. So when we would talk to him and say, "You need to go to your room," and I'll bring Bobo and explain what goes on. You know, so you bring the monkey in, it's like, "Hey, look here, this is okay. You messed up. This is what you did." And so they're like, oh. So the monkey says, "I messed up. How did I mess up?" So I used to use them as educational, and it would help with explaining why they were in trouble. And they're like, "Oh," he's like, okay.
And he's
Oh, that's
So he's a
21
serial
years old.
killer now.
You
But
just when he's 21.
That's kind of cool. I don't think it would work now.
No, unless you're like, "What About Bob?" You ever see "What About Bob" with
The guy that
I
No.
can't think of that. The movie, What About Bob? Why can't I think
Yeah.
of the guy who's in
they
it?
drag
Bill
the
Murray.
guy behind.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
what about Bob? Yeah. What about Bob? Yeah.
Where he's on the boat and he's afraid of he's with the doctor, and the doctor talks with the puppets. And I'm like, oh, that's so me. Wait, that's demented. That's twisted. Some of the kids have tried to do the ventriloquism, but it's hard to do. So they kind of fall out of love with it and like, okay, you just go ahead and do your thing. We're gonna dance and sing. It's a lot.
Do you have to consistently practice on it? I know, like when I do shows, hypnosis shows, and seminars, live seminars, I'm really studying hard. I do a lot of studying before a seminar, especially, and also even during shows. It takes me like when I'm off stage a week, 2 weeks to get back in the groove where you just, when you're on. And even though I've done a lot of shows, you still have that, oh, I missed it there. So you got to get back on. So,
I'm nervous about that too. Getting back to the first show after, I think the longest I've ever gone without doing a show in the last 13 years would be 2 weeks.
Oh.
So I'm gonna have to get back into gear. Maybe watch a video of the show so I can see. I'm like, okay, so how did I do that again? Because when I do a show, I structure it like a skeleton and let the audience put the meat on it.
Yeah.
So I know kind of where I'm going to go with the show, but if the audience like this material, then I'll go this way with it. Or if they like this material, I'll go this way. So as you know, with your entertaining, you have a plethora of material. You just don't know which audience you're going to be with and how you're going to apply that show to make it successful, which is why this whole internet thing messes with my head a little bit, because I can only see so many people on the screen.
Yeah.
And I need to feel the audience, feel the energy. And I've been scared to death to do a concert on here, which is why I'm doing the teaching thing. But
yeah, he was the same way with his first seminar. He was freaking out because he was like, I can't see people. I can't feel the energy. And I'm like, deal with it, because this is what we have to do right now. It may not be what we have to do, later on, but right now, this is what we have to deal with. And I can't. Right. I see people doing events where they have like 20 screens on their screen, and I'm like, how? I don't get it.
Right. And I'm thinking, even when they do television, like a sitcom, they still have a live audience.
Yes.
Because it's crucial and critical to have that interaction and that feeling of the laughter. It just makes you feel good. And this is a weird time we're in. And I'll tell you what, I can't wait for that first show, because the audience is going to be ready to respond. Yeah. They're going to be ready.
Critical. They'll be critical. Critical is crucial and critical. Critical, like you said.
Critical. Yeah, it's like the thing that goes right behind your fingernails. It's the critical.
Yes, that's a critical. Well, here's what Yolanda and I plan on doing is, San Diego Fair, we should be at it right now, is not happening. Your Orange County Fair is not happening. We talked to a friend of mine, Marshall Silver, who's a hypnotist, and he's got a place there in Carlsbad with a theater. And I said, Marshall, I want to come down there and do a show. Would you like to do a show where we do it together? Where
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That'd be fun.
Wouldn't that be great? You and I.
Get the crowd warmed up, get them laughing a little bit, and they'll be ready for you to bring them in and take them under.
And I can bring them down. I mean, once they get to my part, they'll come down.
Hey, man, I don't know.
Well, if you decide to do a show here on the internet, just let us know, because
we'll promote the heck out of it.
We'll promote it, and we will definitely.
And we want to at our events from now on.
Yeah, definitely.
We have high energy events. Our events are really all about the people. I mean, the experience and everything else. 3 days, total transformation. Every Saturday night, Yolanda thought of when we do it on Saturday nights is we do a red carpet event twice as nice as there, or we play some music if they can't. Having you there and I want to have fun. People learn when they have fun. We had one of our last speakers at that event. He is Marcus Anthony Ray. He is Canada's #1 for 7 years straight, Mr. Nude, top highest paid male stripper in the world.
Was.
Where can I see it?
I'm
that was perfect. I love it.
She was waiting in the wings for that. Seriously?
We had a preacher there in the front row. So he comes on stage and he's getting ready to speak, and he goes, all right, we just put together an event. It's going to be the preacher, the stripper, and the hypnotist. Come on.
That's the
There's
name
a
of the
joke
next
in there
event.
somewhere.
But the stripper guy, his message is so powerful, and what he went through 7 years of the number one, and his life wasn't fulfilled, and he teaches people how to take their life back. And I don't want to ruin the story for the ones coming,
Yeah.
because this was such a great event. And he used to talk about, I used to do these one-handed push-ups. Well, Saturday night we're on the dance floor. I'm like, come on, Marcus, come on, right? So he's doing it. The next day we jump up, and I don't know what happened. I was like, that can't be that hard. So I jumped down. I started doing. The audience is crowding around. They're all putting on Facebook Live. I didn't know it was Facebook Live. So we've been back and forth challenging each other, just doing crazy things. That's what our events are like. It's off the cuff, you know, and it's very life changing. You know, the kid, when that kid said what he said to you on stage, that's the kind of experience we have at our seminars all the time.
Yeah.
And you should see our team. We've got Mamie, we've got Tony, Rasta, we've got Ziggy, we've got me, Yolanda. We put together a team that everybody is equal and united and one. And it's like everybody's in it, like nothing's going to stop us, you know. It's a family. It's just such a big family.
Stop it. No, you're.
The stripper guy will be there.
Matilda, we'll have the stripper guy there for you. He'll be there.
I'll do it. I don't have clothes on. Look, I'm
All right.
naked as Jaybird.
How many different characters do you have there, Kevin or Matilda?
Well, I have. Actually,
does she have? Do you have brothers and sisters? Does Matilda? Does she have children?
Matilda does not have any kids, thank goodness. Mobile. This is crazy. This is a Lego model of Clyde.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
When I was at
How do you
Lego,
get your hand in that?
he was on the stage. It's like, I don't even know how many pieces it took to make this thing, but he's huge. Okay, this one over here, they did Matilda as well.
Oh, that is cool.
It's a Lego model. It's huge. This is Raymond, my old man. I started with him back in 1983, and Clyde is over here. He's chilling. He's all right. So we just a little bit of everything. He's broken. He doesn't work anymore. Look at that slot jaw. Broke jaw, no worky. Broke jaw.
He looks like the guy 2.5 Men. John Cryer has got a ventriloquist. Jersey.
Sorry about that. The two birds, the old man, those are the three predominantly. I use a drawing board that I draw a face on. I could bring someone up and make them a puppet. And then when I do the long shows for like a performing arts center that could be up to 90 minutes in length, I have a wooden head, similar to Harley here, but his name is Zeke. He's creepy, but he's like kind of looks almost like Howdy Doody. So I usually use about 5 because we try to do Laughlin, Nevada, which is a lot of fun at Riverside, Don Laughlin's Riverside Casino. We're hoping to go back this year in December. Who knows what's going to happen?
Let us know. We're just down the road. We're in Vegas.
If that's the case, we're going to have to hang out because I usually do about 6 nights there, 5-6 nights.
We'll come down.
Yeah.
It would be amazing. But I get to do a full show there. We do 80 minutes, and all the characters come out. So we bring them all down. Oh, we have fun.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
But it's great. So again, just so you know, I appreciate. I have the website here. I see this is very cool because I put a link on there to my Patreon because that's where I'm trying to get the most things going until we can actually get out of the house and do something. But when you're ready to go, let me know. I'll open for you. We could do some collaborating. This would be a blast because with the hypnotism, the people out there don't realize that you're in my head all the time. I use your material on a regular basis, especially when I'm on ships. So how did I lose weight? I listen to Mark in my head when I go to bed. 10%.
You're right. By God, you're right. You really do listen.
I listen to it all the time. Every once in a while, I'll go to sleep. Matilda's like, put on Yolanda. I'm like, I don't speak Spanish. She goes, well, I do.
Let people will know that Yolanda did them all in Spanish for me too. That's so cool.
Yes,
that's
I
right.
did.
So when she's in a Spanish mood, she puts Yolanda on so she can listen to
go
through the hypnotism. It's fantastic. You guys are wonderful. I appreciate this opportunity.
You do only family shows, is that right? Or you do an
That's
adult
correct.
show?
I don't do blue humor. That costs extra. No, we years and years ago when I first started out trying to get going, I went to the Comedy Store in La Jolla, California, and I was doing the open mic night, and I did 5 minutes, and the guy who was the manager came up to me after. He goes, it was okay, but if you want to work comedy clubs, you got to work blue. And I said, well, I don't work blue, I work clean. He goes, well, then you're not going to work here anymore. And then we were on a TV show a couple years later. It was called The Extreme Gong Show, which is like the gong show, but people in the live audience right there had a little device that they could gong you while you were doing your
okay.
set. So the audience could gong you, or they could go the reverse and give you the green light, and you get all the praise, whatever. Just so happened that when I was doing my little bit on the Extreme Gong Show, the manager from the Comedy Store was doing a set on the same episode, and I'm like,
Oh.
"Ooh, you're gonna have a hard time working blue on this show, fella." So he's like, "I'll be fine. I'll be fine." And I beat him, and I won $286.32.
Nice. That comes in handy today, don't it?
I'm telling you, I wishing I had that Extreme Gong Show back. Whatever, you do what you do. You do what you can anyway.
That's
So
right.
until
You
this
know
time,
what?
Wow.
I'm gonna go beat up my laptop after we're done here, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm so glad you decided to do this. This is so much
Yes.
fun, Kevin. It's so good to see less of you now because we get to hang out more and more with you.
I'm down 40. Let's see, I have to carry the 43 pounds.
That is
Wow,
incredible.
that's awesome.
It's August.
Yeah,
I
would
got
do
to,
it.
I have to a few
Yeah,
more to go.
I would say in kilos. You know, it's you know, you weigh so much kilos, but you lost 44 pounds. That sounds so much better. I only weigh like 100 kilos because I lost 44 pounds.
Ooh,
Nice.
It does
Wow.
sound impressive. But when I come through customs and I tell them how many kilos I lost, I usually get lost. Oh, talk about messing with people. I used to do it at customs, but I learned the hard way. That is not the place to mess with people. Oh, nay. Now, we do it at TSA. You know, TSA is a lot of fun. Walk through the scanner. I apologize. I don't know what was that to set it off. I got these magnetic. I just had that installed. They're like, you need to settle down, son. But coming back from Miami, into Miami, we were on the last ship out of Cuba. Before they shut down all the ships going to Cuba, we were on the last ship out. And we were coming into Miami, and he's like, "What's in the case?" And I'm like, "This case?
Nothing.
Oh, I'm bringing my friends back from Cuba." Oh no, this is not a good thing. He did not have a good experience with that. He says, "Come on and join me in the room over here, okay?" So I felt like that guy in Canada who had to remove my clothes, but I didn't get paid for it. And he's like, "Open the trunk now." He's like,
No, I'm naked.
but anyway. So, I don't mess with them at customs anymore. They just don't have a good sense of humor. Know your audience, right? Know your audience.
Know your audience, exactly.
Good grief. Man, it was good to talk to you folks again. So let's do this on a regular basis. Not
Yeah,
necessarily
we
here,
should
but I
do
mean,
it
like,
again.
just give me a holler, like you did the other day. Call me before 9. And,
Are you on Pacific time? Are you in California?
I am in California on Pacific time, which is interesting. But when I work on the ships, there's one guy in particular I know. Whenever we are on the same ship working, he goes, "You know the rule. Don't call between the 12s." And I'm like, "What?" He says, "So don't call after midnight. Don't call before noon. Don't call between the 12s." That's the life of a cruise ship entertainer right there. Stay up all night because that's when the internet gets better because all the people are sleeping.
That's right.
Yeah, all the
Internet.
people-
Ooh.
yeah, exactly. I remember those days.
5 minutes later, I just got to read that email. It finally downloaded. Trying to drink pudding through a straw. Lots of bandwidth today.
That's disgusting.
Just keep your mouth shut. The peanut gallery, they're everywhere. Well, dadgum, I can't believe we did this for free. So anyway.
Well, no, we're so glad you joined us.
I'm so glad that you taught me how to do this because I was lost. I'm like, my wife showed me.
Now you can do a show. Now you can do a show here.
What did you think of the questions? Were they?
I think they were
So you
good.
like
Next
them?
time I'd like to give you some of my own.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Half of them might have come from the birds. But no, it was good. It was better than I anticipated. So that's good. Because people don't want to be bored with, so how did you start? Did you take a class? Did you go to school for this? Yeah.
That's what I wrote down originally. And Yolanda said, get rid of it. I'm like, when you're married, it's yes, dear. Here's new shoes, and I'm sorry. It was my fault.
Well, I just started doing workshops on the ships. Well, before we quit doing ships, but I was doing workshops, so I would do 45 minutes to almost an hour of teaching how to do ventriloquism. But I realized
Oh,
Most of the people that are there are not there to learn how to do ventriloquism. They just want to be entertained.
yeah.
So it helped me learn the audience again. It's like, okay, you know what? People are out on here to learn how I got started in this whole thing. They want to be entertained. That's all they want. So I'm learning.
Well,
I'm still
you are very entertaining, that's for sure. And what a great guy you are. And I'm so
appreciate
glad you
that.
told that story about that kid. That shows you who you really are. You know, I know you're a loving father, husband. Been my boyfriend for some time now.
It's been a while. It's been a while. I have to remove the tattoo of my wife's name now. Wow, it's bad. People are like, you don't wear a ring. I'm like, well, I used to, but I'd take it off when I get to the ship because I'm swelling because I'd be on the plane and I'm now 5 pounds heavier and all of a sudden I can't even get the ring off my finger. I feel like John Goodman. So she's like, I got an idea. Why don't you just write it on there permanently?
Yeah, that's right.
So I did. I'm like, this is great. So she's got my name on her finger and will forever be inked. I know that's just weird. We can't end like that, can we? That's not good. That's not okay. But you know what? I will give my props to that woman because I couldn't do what I do if it wasn't for her. And she was an entertainer for many years as well. She was a professional dancer. She worked at Knott's Berry Farm. She was a dancer for Elvira's show, and she was also friends with Snoopy, if you will. You know how that goes with friends with Snoopy. So now I'm friends with Snoopy. It's a little creepy. They got the little hairball from the dog. But sometimes she takes the costume off and we have a normal life. But I'm married up, and that's why we have so many children.
How many do you have?
We have 5 children that I know of.
Wow.
No, I hate that phrase. I don't like to say that. I only say that because we might have picked some up along the way because we... Every once in a while, the kids will bring somebody home like, oh, are we feeding somebody else tonight? We don't have enough. No, I wasn't saying we don't have enough. That was a question. Do we not have enough children? We need more.
And your oldest is 21?
Oldest is 21. And then we have 17. Well, he'll be 18 next month. And, wow, this is scary. And then 12, 9 next week. So they're all changing their birthdays. This is the time of year.
And you're gonna be 50 coming up next
week. I'll be 50 next week as well. Oh, wow, half a century.
That's awesome.
How am I gonna do it? I'm so excited. I lost a lot of this weight because we're in a 2-story house, so I can now run up and down the stairs and do it on a regular basis now. On the ships, man, I would take the elevator to go to the gym so I could use the Stairmaster. Think about it. Okay, that's horrible. No. It's bad.
You should go on a marketing cruise with us.
Yes.
It would be fantastic. It's in January. It sells out every year, and it's all 400 of the top marketers. They would love you there.
Yeah.
And then dying for entertainment. They're looking for it. When we do events, we want entertainment. We want people to have a good time, and there's no one out there that does it. So I'm going to send you chat with you later. So I think it'd be really a lot of fun.
Yeah,
absolutely. Let's do it, man. This is great.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, Kevin, I appreciate your time, man. That's awesome.
Thank you for giving us this hour to chat and get entertained because we love watching you. So
absolutely. Well, thanks for inviting me to this because I'm learning. This new tech savvy world, everybody's on the internet with this thing.
I know.
Well, a lot of people will share this video with everybody and subscribe to your stuff, and that's how we build up some. So when we are somewhere, we'll advertise it and get some people that have not had the opportunity to see you to come out and join us. So we'll do a show together.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to it.
We'll just make it so packed full of entertainment.
Well, see, we have friends that are on Facebook doing watch parties, so they're sharing it. Yeah, so they're sharing.
That's what you got to tell everybody is to do a watch party.
They're doing it. Sim's doing it. Thanks, Sim. He was excited to see this. When he saw it posted, he was like, "Oh my God, I want to see the ventriloquist! I'm so excited!" So we have lots of friends that were looking forward to this. So thank you for taking the time to chat with us and hang out
on our anniversary. On your birthday, and we're going to say happy birthday now because we'll probably forget unless Facebook reminds us, and then I will call. When is your birthday? Can you call me to remind?
7th. It'll be next weekend.
That's my brother's day.
June 7th.
That's on my brother's birthday, so that's easy.
The big 5-0.
Big 5-0. 5-0. White 5-0.
What? Why,
I don't
5
feel
hours?
that old. I just don't. I look in the mirror, I'm like, that guy looks old, but I don't feel like that guy. Who is that?
Isn't that amazing?
Like that bald spot that I keep having to figure out how to cover up. I'm gonna change the way I do my blocking on stage, so I turn like this. Yes, folks, I have a trunk over here. You don't mind if I just gotta get this other trunk in the back of my head? No. Oh mercy. Well, let's do this again more often.
Yes,
You
we'll do it
got it.
again. Definitely. We should do it again. It was fun.
We'll make it happen, Kevin. And next
give
time
you
I
some
mow
better
the
questions
backyard, I
next
want you to
time.
join me.
I'm sorry, I stepped over your line. What'd you say again? Come on.
The next time I mow my backyard, I want you to join me.
Oh.
You'll have to see it on Facebook to know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'll share the video with you so you know what he's talking about. I'll send you the video.
Okay.
that
I
I did.
appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so
All right, happy
much.
anniversary
Check
to you
out-
Have a
guys.
great
Mwah.
weekend.
Great to
All
see
right,
you
you
again.
guys check out Kevin Johnson on
Laughalot.com.
www.laughalot.com. And we're going to come to San Diego. We're going to do a show. We're going to get Kevin in, and he's going to do the show opening, and we'll just have a blast. How's that? So
Awesome.
we will see you soon. Remember, our cooking show is this coming up Sunday.
That's right.
We don't know what we're going to cook yet. Kevin,
Yes,
any
we
ideas?
do. We are cooking a dessert. We're making
cooking
dessert.
A dessert.
We're making
dessert.
We'll be
dessert.
brownies.
A dessert. How about those? What do you call them? The popcorn balls with M&Ms.
Yummy.
Yummy.
We're actually making that this weekend, so that's the only thing I could think of that'd be fun.
Oh.
to make.
I'm making a cheesecake.
Oh, yeah, cheesecake.
We love cheesecake.
I love
Yeah,
cheesecake. Cheesecake.
You're sick. No, we just want to say it was a fly-by-night production. Thank you guys very much for letting us be a part. We'll entertain more next time.
And I want better questions next time.
Stop. She has no questions. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Happy anniversary. We'll see you.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
All
Bye.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
that was fun.
Imagine being on a ship with him for
A week.
so much
were
time.
On,
It was just
on with us for a
nonstop.
week, and it was nonstop.
He's like that all the time, on stage, off stage. That's who he is. What you just saw is the real Kevin. So what we're going to do is when we do a show in San Diego, Orange County, we're going to invite him down there.
Yeah, definitely.
Imagine him doing like a 45-minute show, just crazy stuff. Just that's who he is. He's just what an entertainer, and he's just a grateful guy. I love that story about the kid. He's always making some.
That's very inspiring as to choosing your passion and your purpose. Having something like that happen, and then it's like, wow, this is why I do it. So it's awesome.
All right.
So we'll see you guys on Sunday.
Sunday
we
it is.
are making dessert. It's going to be dessert
I will.
Sunday.
As usual, I'll be the
Yes,
chef, and
he'll
she'll
be the
cook.
chef. He'll be
Because I coach you. I teach her. I'm showing her how to do making now.
He'll
That's
be
how
the
we do
chef doing nothing but his little shenanigans, and I'll be the cook. I'll be making all the food.
There we go. All right.
So we'll
share
see
this
you on Sunday. Yes, share this video
and
and check
go to
out.
our hypnotist Mark on Facebook, and you can see some clips we're putting on from shows. Because we're unable to do live shows, so we're going to keep putting clips on there. And let us know if we can help you in any way, and we'll see you Sunday. Thanks, guys.
All right, have a good day.